Alright, what's going on, guys? Wow, it's been a while. But today I just want to talk to you guys about 4 tips for nighttime rolling shots. Alright, tip number 1 is you want to make sure that you go to a well-lit area. So let's just say in the middle of downtown, by, I don't know, just anywhere that has a lot of lights. Like maybe a neighborhood with a lot of LED street lights. That's because light is the ally of, you know, photography. I've seen some people do rolling shots in the middle of the night, but they rely too much on just the tail lights or the headlights of other cars. As much as possible, you don't want to rely too much on the headlights, because one is that they're just going to be coming from one direction, and number 2 is like you kind of want the car to be all fully lit up. Number 2, you want low shutter speed. And when I say low shutter speed, I'm talking about maybe 1/20th of a second, 1/10th of a second. It all depends on how well you can keep your hand steady, because keep in mind that the lower your shutter speed, the more you're gonna need a tripod. But then again, the lower your shutter speed, the more light goes in. So if you have maybe some kind of rig or a tripod that you could stick onto your camera vehicle, or maybe just the trunk of an SUV, that would be great. But clearly you kind of want your shutter speed as slow as possible, because that's going to be a big advantage for that rolling shot. Number 3 is your aperture. So I'm shooting with a Sony a7 III, and the Sony a7 IIIs are very, they're quite famous for noise management. So for me, shooting at f4 is alright. I mean, I could crank up the ISO and the shot would still look good, given that I'm in a well-lit area. But in my opinion, if you're going to be shooting with anything lower than f4, I suggest don't go any lower than 2.8, because keep in mind that you are shooting a car that has a different focal planes. So as much as possible, you want the entirety of the car in focus, and 2.8 is just enough to keep majority of the car in focus. But shooting at 2.8, well, then again, wide open, so there's gonna be more light coming in. You know, you don't have to crank your ISO as much. And number 4 is you wanna overexpose the shot. And I'm talking, when I say overexpose the shot, I'm not talking about like a very white shot. I'm talking about something that's like +1 or +2. The reason why you want to do this is because darkness or shadows is where the noise lives. And that's when you're gonna start seeing all the noise from the ISO. If we're gonna be coming back to the other steps, you want to be in an area that's very well lit. So very well lit plus overexposing your shot, then your shot or your rolling shot at nighttime should be perfect. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. Just quick tips. If you guys like this video, subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit.